Hey everyone, it's Thursday, and that means that I'm on Twitter. And many of you have used the hashtag KatieFAQ, and you have asked your questions. And so today I will answer them. And for many of you, I know that you'll ask your question throughout the week, and it's hard for me to keep track of them. Some of you will even say, hey, can you remind me the day of? And that is very helpful because it's today that I actually go in and I, put the questions together so everybody has as much time as possible to get theirs in, and then I pick the ones that I think kind of relate to one another, and I'll pick one question out of that group, and I do it that way. So if you can all do that, that will be wonderful. And tomorrow I'm doing a live broadcast with Brianna, and sorry I spelled your name wrong. I realize it's only one N, but I made the graphic. I'm so sorry. So sorry. But anyway, we're doing a live broadcast tomorrow, and we are doing it at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time in Los Angeles, and then Brianna is on East Coast time, and so it'll be 5 o'clock for you guys over there. And for all of you around the world, you have to try to figure that out, because I'm not that good with that if you haven't realized that already. Okay, so without further ado, I'm on Twitter, and the first question is, what are my thoughts on EMDR? Many of you are like, Katie, what the heck is EMDR? And for the sake of time in this video, Google it. It's the letters EMDR, and it's a type of therapy where we do like eye movements, like I'm following that, while kind of asking you questions. And I personally, I guess I'm talking about EMDR again. Google it for the answer about what it is. But my thoughts on it are mixed. I've had a couple of clients who swear by it and it's changed their life and they feel so much better and oh my God, it's the best thing ever. And then I have clients who are like, I hate it and it's terrible and it was re-traumatizing. And the main reason that we do EMDR is for people who have had past traumas in their life. It can be any number of things. Most of my clients that have gone in for it were sexually abused, and that's why EMDR was recommended by another therapist. I personally don't recommend it. However, if my DBT work and my Courage to Heal workbook kind of stuff don't really pan out, I will consider it, and it's something that we'll talk about. It can be really difficult for people to get over the actual process of it and let it help them, and so that's kind of why I don't always recommend it, but it can definitely benefit you, and if you've tried other things and they haven't worked, I would encourage you to look into it, okay? Question number 2. Why is trust such a hard thing for people with BPD? And this is a great question. And the short answer is it goes back to that fear of abandonment. And if you think about it, I know sometimes it's hard to like remove ourselves from the situation, especially when we have BPD or borderline personality disorder. For any of you who are wondering, what the heck is that, Katie? I've actually done a video on that, and you can you can search my channel for borderline and it'll come up, and you can listen to that video about what BPD really is. But part of it is fear of abandonment, and a lot of times we tend to either leave people first or we like smother people to death because we don't want them to leave. And sometimes we do a combination of both, where we'll like ignore them until they come, and then we're like, yay, and then we smother them. And that's why it's hard for us to trust, is part of that emotional dance we play with ourselves when we have borderline. It's really hard for us to allow people in. It takes us a long time, and even when they're in, we don't think that they'll stay around. We fear that they're going to leave. And so you can see how that would feed this anti-trust. No one's trustworthy. Everybody will go away. And so part of your work in your DBT group, the person who asked this question, I know that he's in a group, and I think that it will really help to talk about this. I would bring this up in group and have other people discuss it, because it is very prevalent. I have a lot of clients who struggle with this, and something that we can do, and some work you can do with your therapist, is finding people in your life who, talking with your therapist, you can agree that they're trustworthy. I know you may not feel it, but I like the idea of talking with your therapist about it. Like, I'll have my clients tell me about people in their lives, and so were they there for you when this happened? And when you call them, do they usually respond? And who are the people you can actually turn to? And starting to feel out that information. And when you say people don't respond, how long is it? Like, is it 30 minutes and that seems like 30 days? Or is it like a couple days? And who are your go-to people? And then picking people to try and trust. And we'll try little by little, letting ourselves trust them. So I know it's a lot of work, and working through BPD and being in DBT therapy is already a lot of work, but I promise this one of all will be so rewarding for your relationships and for future romantic relationships as well as friendships, and it will stop us from that like push pull that we feel like, I'm gonna smother you, oh my god, and like, get away, don't touch me. So hopefully it will help us find a better middle ground, okay? Question number 3. This is a great question, and it's something that I should have talked about a long time ago. Should we use social media or not, and when should we take a break? Now, this person was asking because they came across one of those, what we like to call trolls on the internet, where they just like swoop into somebody's business and start making rude comments and posting things and being just total dicks, right? People are such jerks. And I honestly believe that for most of us, if someone's swooping in on your Facebook or your Twitter and being like, you're so stupid, you're so ugly, whatever they could say, right? Those really rude people who are just really upset themselves that they can't even contain their hate. It leaks out all over the place. If that would upset you, block things. Like make everything private. Only your friends can see it. Not friends of friends. Not everybody. I would lock your shit down because otherwise those people will find their way in. And I know that it can be really hurtful. Trust me, I get just as much, if not more hate than, and I get the weirdest comments. You guys have seen those people. I get the strangest stuff, but that stuff doesn't bother me. But if it did bother me, I would just block those people. So block them, report as spam, lock up your profile, and make it safer for you because you should be able to enjoy social media for its benefits, which is our community, the support you can receive, keeping in touch with friends that are long distance from you, any of those things. And so that's when I think we should use it, is when we're reaching out to get help and support and love, whether it be friends, family, our Healthy Mind, Healthy Body community. That's where I would kind of draw the boundaries on that one. Great question, by the way. Okay, and the final question, number 4, before our journal topic of the day, number 4 is how to come to terms with therapy, feeling like it's finally helping me, but I only have a few sessions left. This is like the bane of my existence. I fight insurance. We try to get coverage, right? I used to do this all the time in the treatment centers. When people are finally starting to get on board, they have 3 days left. And it's like, shit, what do we do? So this is something that unfortunately a lot of us have to deal with and a lot of us are struggling to fight with. I would talk with your therapist. This is my best advice. If any of you have advice, I'm doing my thing again, leave comments below about what's worked for you. How did you deal with that when you finally felt like you were getting help and then it was like somebody pulled the rug out from underneath you? But what I do with my clients when our time is limited is we start putting together a relapse plan. So what do we do if we find ourselves, it depends on what your struggles are. If you find ourselves having the urge to self-harm, if we're binging, we're purging, we're restricting, we're exercising, we're whatever we do, or if we're getting depressed and we're not getting out of bed, like what are our signs? The first thing I do is what are our triggers or signs that things are getting bad? Then who are we going to call or what are we going to do? So whether it's journaling, call a friend, it's kind of like our suicide prevention list in a way. We need to have people that are resources to us. Then what books and workbooks can I work on? And just kind of setting goals for the next, I usually try to push it out like 2 to 3 months of setting these goals. And then once insurance may quit or when you don't have more sessions, then I try to fight and I try to get more. And I base it on the fact that we have all this work to do together that we've put together. And also you have that to take with you if, for instance, insurance won't come back and they're not helping us out. I know that that's really hard, but it's something you can definitely work with your therapist on. And it's worth the time in session to start putting that together now, okay? And everybody else, leave what's helped for you too, because that's really invaluable information that you have. Now, our journal topic of the day. Now, I'm really excited about because I won't say her name because I never know if people want me to say their names or not, but she blogs. And one of her blog topics that she sent to me a while ago, I was trying to get caught up on my messages on the website and it's taking me forever. But one of the topics was her therapist talking about trying versus actually doing something. And it came up because she said, I'm trying to recover and I'm trying really hard. And he said, what would you say if I told you I'm going to try and pick up that telephone over there? She was like, I think you're crazy because you can't just try to do it. You just do it and you're doing it. It's happening, right? And so trying actually equals failing because you're not really doing it. You're just trying to do it. And I thought, wow, that is really something I've never thought about. And that's so powerful. because sometimes it's just that little verbiage, those changing of a couple words that can totally change our mindset. And we talk a lot about that, the negative and positive thoughts, and really how we can turn them all into positive, right? And we can focus on our recovery. And so my journal topic today is, what's something that we're trying to do that we can actually do? And we will start saying we're doing it. I'd like you to make a little list. Like, a lot of times, we'll have different things like, I'm trying to recover. I'm trying to save money. I'm trying to be more outgoing. I'm trying to spend more time with my friends. This list can go on and on and on. And I'd like you, just for this week, to think of 4, because I feel like that's kind of manageable. 4. And every time you catch yourself saying you're trying to do that thing, I want you to say, no, I'm doing it. And by doing it, give me one thing that you're going to try and do. So let's say it's like, I'm trying to be more social. Say, I'm being more social. I called my friend Liz and we're grabbing coffee next week, or whatever it is. And start making our little action plan, because let's turn our tries into do's. And I think that's a really cool one. So thanks for that. And that blog was really great. So keep blogging. Okay, everyone, tomorrow is Finally Friday. And don't forget, my live broadcast is at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And it'll be really interesting. We're going to talk about chronic illness and recovery. I think it'll be really beneficial. I'm really excited. And so that will be Friday. And then we have a 3-day weekend here in the States, Labor Day weekend. Yay! So I will still release my video on Monday, but I will have a 3-day weekend. Yay! I love you all, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!